day.
I'm 5'7". I got
Are
legs.
you 5'6"?
5'6".
Lucky bitch. That's my ideal. That's my
I'm a tall ass Asian.
that's my goal height.
Is it?
Yeah. I'm still hoping to get there one day.
Who knows?
You never know.
If you hang yourself in a closet like Arnold Jackson, I think that works.
Who's Arnold Jackson?
You ever see Different Strokes?
Was that his last name?
It wasn't? Oh, no, it wasn't.
Pretty
Drummer.
short. Yeah, I was like,
Damn,
pretty short.
You just pulled up like a random black last name. You're just like
You guys remember Arnold Jenkins?
I told you.
And everyone's like,
no references.
who I went to junior high with an Arnold Jenkins.
Britney Spears.
Cletus. You know Cletus.
But you
Just
know
a
what?
random
You guys,
black
you guys believe me for one hot second. That makes me a good
I had no idea who you were talking about from jump. No idea. I was never on board with Arnold Jackson. I was like,
Cletus
did you mean
Jenkins.
Andrew Jackson? And I was like, did we have a president that hung upside down?
You know what? I don't mind.
Do we have a vampire president? I was so confused for at least 30 seconds.
Arnold
All right.
Drummer. You remember that episode,
Drummond.
though? When he was
Yeah.
Drummond, when he was trying to get tall and he hung himself.
Vaguely.
He was, he hung from the closet and he was like, this will make me taller.
Vaguely, I remember that.
Anyway, it works.
I told her she doesn't know any pop
probably
culture
why you're
references
5'2".
past 90. I'm 5'4".
You're 5'4" because you're not hanging in the closet. You didn't know.
Keep it in the closet.
Uh,
That was a Michael Jackson. Okay, let's go. Are we recording this whole? God damn you, Paul. The whole Andrew Jackson conversation.
Good. It was funny.
Oh, guys, welcome back to The Struggle with Candice Thompson. I'm Candice Thompson. I apologize for that foolishness that you just heard. No, I don't. I don't apologize because it was hilarious. You're welcome. Thank you for coming back, to my loyal fans, for coming back every week and listening to this. I appreciate your loyalty and your support. And to my new fans, thank you. Welcome. I hope we haven't scared you off already, and continue to come back. And if you haven't subscribed, make sure you do that. If you haven't rated and reviewed us on iTunes, make sure you do that. And if you haven't told somebody about The Struggle, God damn it, make sure you do that. All right. I'm Candice Thompson for the third time. You can find me at Jokes by Candice on social media. You can find me at CandiceThompsonComedy.com for all my show dates. And now I'm going to introduce my co-host, Brenda Colonna.
Hi, guys.
Who thought Andrew Drummond was
Andrew Jackson.
Andrew Jackson.
Uh-huh. Yeah, I did that.
She does
And
that.
I'm proud of that. And if you want more confusion, find me on Instagram. If you want more confusion that doesn't make sense, you can go on Instagram at Brenda Colonna. There's my plug. I did it.
all right.
Yeah. Okay. That's it.
I'm not into plugs.
Yeah, no, I
I
know.
don't like it.
Not those plugs.
Not those plugs.
Some butt plugs.
Oh.
Now, I'm going to introduce our hilarious guest for the day. I'm so happy she's here.
Yo, I'm so honored.
You
Me
guys,
too.
this is Jenny Yang.
Hi.
Say hi, Jenny.
What's
Hi.
up?
And where can
Hi.
everyone find you on social media?
My handle is at Jenny Yang TV everywhere. It used to be aspirational. It is now the truth.
What do you mean?
Yeah.
So it has the word TV in it.
Oh, and you be on TV and you be working, doing stuff on TV.
I get it. Good for you.
I thought that was part of the handle. I
Me
was like
too.
Jenny Yang TV.
But you know, like,
aspirational.
I was like, I got to get online and
Now
find
it's
out what's
Jenny
going
Yang
on.
TV.
when I used to tell people that my handle was Jenny Yang TV, they're like, "Oh, you on TV?" I'm like, "No."
No, but I'm gonna
That's what's up.
be. We talk about manifestation all the time.
Yes,
That's what we.
That's real in your world.
I love manifesting shit.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's the only way to be.
But
I
yeah.
mean, if you're, and it works both ways. You manifest terrible stuff for yourself. You can manifest amazing stuff for
I
yourself.
know.
Yeah, and you've manifested some amazing things.
I have.
You're currently working on Busy Tonight?
Yes, Busy Tonight. It's a 4-night-a-week late night talk show on E! !
That's fantastic. With
Yeah,
Busy Phillips.
with Busy Phillips of Cougar Town Freaks and Geeks, vice principals. She's amazing. I'm a full-time writer there, and then we're on camera a lot, which is fun.
That's
Doing
fantastic.
bits and doohickeys.
Doohickeys. That's a very specific genre.
Yes,
it's a
of
niche.
comedy.
Yeah, I'm overly familiar with doohickeys.
Yeah.
And neck hickeys.
Okay.
Remember hickeys? When's the last time you had a hickey?
I've never had a hickey.
I don't think I've ever really had a hickey.
Not even in high school when you're supposed to get them?
I was a late
No.
bloomer, y'all.
I was smart.
Well, it is a stupid thing to do, but at the same time.
How do you not know you're getting a hickey? If they're there too long
Yeah, no,
and
I
sucking
know.
too hard, you got one.
No,
like,
I
you
know.
stop it beforehand.
I think it was like I think I got one time just so I could like brag about like making out with a guy one time, which I think guys kind of wanted too. They wanted bragging rights. Like if a chick was there and be like, hey, look what I got. You know what I'm saying? And then there was people who wanted the bragging rights so much that they would like use the vacuum cleaner to suck their.
Oh, no.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if that's an actual thing. I know it's been made fun of like on television and stuff like that. But that's how, it's cool to have chicks. So
Don't
like,
you get in trouble?
I guess.
by whom?
Your parents.
What are you gonna say? It's not like just you could just
Dirty pig. That's one thing.
That's what your parents said to you.
I never had one, but I imagine so.
Well, like I don't bruise easily, so I feel like it'd just be too much of an endeavor.
You coming in here with your regular sized torso and your
And my thick ass
and
skin.
your thick skin, So ridiculous. How did we get on this topic?
I
You
don't
said
know.
doohickey, and then we segued into hickeys.
That's right.
You
But
did
anyway,
this.
I
Jenny
did
Yang
this.
TV is my username for everything. Instagram, Twitter, JennyYang.tv.
Follow her,
website.
follow her. She's
Yeah.
doing things, guys. She's doing things. Which is why I invited her to here because I like your perspective. And I just saw you the other day at Amanda's taping or screening for her HBO, and I was like, Jen, gotta have her on the podcast.
I love it.
Gotta have dope ass women. So let's get into some struggles.
Yes.
So my struggle this week is you and Brenda. I'm sure you probably have heard because she's so removed from social media. But there's an actor, Jussie Smollett, who is on that show Empire, who was beaten. It was a hate crime.
It was a hate crime.
He's
I
gay.
didn't know about that.
He's gay and black, and some guys apparently beat him up, and they said that they were like, "Hey, are you that faggot from Empire?" and beat him up.
And then
apparently.
said some MAGA stuff.
And you're right. They said some Trump stuff.
Yeah.
Right. And so he filed a police report or whatever, and the whole world has just been in an uproar about it because it's a heinous hate crime. But that is one of my struggles because that's such a terrible thing to hear in 2019 that's still happening. Not that I didn't know that it's still happening, but my problem is the world that we've created with social media is now I'm reading posts and I'm seeing articles and things and I'm dubious of everything that I read because of social media.
Yeah.
And I don't want to be this way, but I feel like it's made us this way because now I'm reading this thing about him and I'm just like, not that I didn't believe him, but a part of me is like, what if this was a fucking stunt just to stir up political agendas and to whatever.
The guy who got beat up?
Yes.
So you think that he...
No, I said I don't think that he did it.
What would be the
said,
possibility? I'm saying.
Right. It's a good possibility because people have done this before. Like, this is the world we live in with social media is that people... Remember Coney 2012? Like, people show you what... It's perfect example is the Fyre Fest, the Fire Fraud. That's the festival that happened not too long ago. And now there's documentaries on it because it went tragically wrong. And now there's documentaries on Hulu and Netflix about it. But that guy who created this festival basically put all this money into a commercial. It was all in marketing.
Right.
And this thing didn't even exist. So all these people spent all these money on tickets to go to this festival when there was nothing there. There was no artists there. They were completely bamboozled because this one guy wanted us to see a certain side. That's what he showed. And all these people believed it. And it's like, we can only believe what we see, right? We see with our eyes and that's what we're consuming. So it's like, at what point... But people they have their own agendas to fulfill. So it's like, and I don't want to say, of course I believe that this happened to Jussie Smollett. But a part of me, inside of me was like, what if he's just trying to stir up, so like a left agenda, trying to, whatever he's trying to put forward about Trump or whatever, saying that gays are still getting hate and because people are believing we're in this post-hate, environment. But like, that's my struggle. Like, I don't want to have to think like this, but there are people out there who completely put out false stuff that we have no way of finding out if it's true or not until it's too late.
That's partially the reason why I haven't read the news or engaged in anything in years, because I've felt that way. And I've always known that was a thing that was happening. And I didn't feel like going through that struggle every day, deciphering what was true and what was not, what was I being fed, and what are different sides trying to make me to believe. Yeah. So now at this point, I just handle it with like, if it doesn't affect me personally in my day-to-day, then I don't engage in it socially. So like, you know, I saw Ellen Page was on the Steve Colbert show, or what is it, the late night?
Yeah,
Late Night with Stephen Colbert. I think
is it late night?
Late show.
Late
I don't
show.
know.
Whatever.
So,
you know what I mean?
And they all have the same name.
It's the same. It's like some
the
kind
late show, the later show.
I can't keep track with the time and the host, but it was Stephen Colbert, and Ellen Page was really upset about it because she's gay and she's trying to get married and she doesn't have those rights and she has a platform, so she has a right to engage in that socially. She can do something. She has a voice.
Right.
Me, I don't have that voice. Nor am I going to go out and do it. So I can't get involved almost. Otherwise, I'm every day holding on to that tension and that I don't know, negativity. It's hard.
You know, and I see that point and I understand that. But at the same time, it's like, I can't subscribe to the notion or the ideology that if it doesn't apply to me, I shouldn't care.
Yeah.
And
not that I don't care. I heard that and I was like, wow, that's unfortunate. But at that point, after that, what am I really going to do?
Yeah, I feel like the unfortunate reality is that we have so many sources of information. It can constantly bombard us. And so we have to kind of manage our information diet. And that requires energy. You know what I mean?
A lot.
So whether you decide to cut through the crap, that takes time and critical thinking, and you know, or whether you decide to take it in, but you start doubting yourself.
Right.
But I think with your case, especially when you're wondering about this sort of hate crime scenario, you said it yourself. Whether or not is someone who is visible, like Jussie, is that how you say his name?
Yeah,
Jussie. You know that this kind of stuff is happening to less famous people, and so to me, I think it is bullshit that there are right wingers who are trying to accuse this of being some kind of, you know, fake setup.
Right.
And it plays into even people like you who are probably going to be on the side of Jussie, you know, into your paranoia or sort of whatever. And I think we have to fight that, you know, because in the end, we know what's right or wrong. And, you know, I'm not saying that it's outside of the realm of possibility for someone to stage something just to sort of incite things.
They have.
But, you know, I used to work in politics. That actually was my first career.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. I used to work for a labor union. I've done tons of political campaigns and door knocking.
Oh, shit, I did not know that.
Majored in policy and poli-sci. I went to urban planning grad school. Whatever.
Not bragging.
But dude, I sound like an asshole on this podcast already. I'm like, Jenny ain't TV. I'm on TV, y'all.
I knock on doors. I talk to the president.
I know politics.
Whatever. Long pause.
You're such a dumb. It's fine.
No, go ahead, please.
But this is the challenge we face is that that in the end we want people who are good, who know what's right, to do shit, right?
For sure.
Like yourself, and anything that would encourage you to be activated and to be on the right side of history, I think that's good. Now, I'm not saying I'm trying to stage fake shit to get people riled up, because there's enough shit out there already.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's just putting a spotlight. But that's just to say, if we just keep our eye on that prize, then we're good. Tactics can be dirty sometimes on all sides.
It's not the majority, right?
No,
it's the little things. If they happen, they happen. And it's not like I'm not complaining about like I'm getting an influx of like just news that I don't believe is actually real news,
right?
Unless you're watching Fox News, because that's what it's all about. But it was just disheartening that I even had that in my head.
I know.
Because I know that happened, and I know that is happening. So it was just a little
that people tamper with the news like that.
Yeah, and we have it's so easy to do it. I could create something fake right now and post it and say that this happened to me, and just to start, even if there was no political agenda, if I just wanted attention, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. No,
and then all of a sudden it just is this, and it triggers this and this and this type of reaction, and it's just like, it's too easy, and not everybody should have the ease of posting something like that, because some people are, have malintent. Yeah. And so, but unfortunately everyone has a cell phone, because everyone has a right to have a cell phone.
And a Twitter account. And has a right to have a Twitter account and all of these things and represent themselves as such.
However they want.
See, the way I handle it too is like, all right, so I heard about that. Yeah. I was affected with compassion.
Yeah.
I felt positive about, what's her name? Ellen Page and what she's doing. I was like, okay, here's somebody taking the reins and being a good representative of that. I'm surely not going to do that. And then I will then engage in these conversations or in a positive way, taking that side. But that's all I could do when it reveals itself in front of my existence. Outside of that, all I could do is my own.
I mean, you could march and you could.
But I'm not going to. It's raining.
It is raining.
I'm gonna be by myself marching.
Cold.
I mean, it's a terrible idea.
By yourself. There's people that have marches.
You're saying join a march.
Yeah.
You just say go and march. And I was like, well, I'm gonna be out there by my. I know. Well,
that would be a bold statement in the rain.
Yeah. I mean, I guess I could, but I'm not gonna.
No.
I just am not.
No, I know. It's a lot.
And I believe in that cause for sure. I just know I'm not going to show up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like to be home. I do better for the world when you're not
home.
in it.
Yeah. Wow.
No, but I mean, like, I like to just, find peace, meditate, do my job, show up when I'm asked to show up, represent whatever I need to represent, helping people, and then go
You're
my
helping
way.
on a grander scale
This is
with the stuff that you're working on.
Yeah.
To be disclosed later. Mm-hmm. But yeah, she's working on some stuff which are supposedly like going to enlighten people and get people to a higher place so that all this bullshit is
I also make spiritual
more
VR.
trivial.
Wait, what?
I make spiritual VR, like virtual reality experiences that are spiritual based.
What?
Yeah. And so
Brenda.
What?
That's so cool.
Thank you. And so that's what I've been doing under that rock. Thank you.
Yeah.
Well, that's great. I mean,
so that's what I have to contribute.
Everyone has their role and
yes, I know I'm not going to march. I know I'm never going to put my fist up.
Yeah.
But I've
never marched. Have you marched for? I didn't do the women's march or anything. I've never marched.
I'm a marcher.
You are? How many marches have you done?
I've been a demonstrator. This is even back when I used to work in politics.
Yeah,
we marched a lot.
I was even more so, right?
Yeah, we marched a lot. We rallied a lot. It's just I worked for a labor union, so it was all about trying to show force by numbers. I worked for a labor union that represented 85,000 LA County, LA City, down to San Diego County public employees.
You need to change your Instagram to Jenny for the People.
On TV.
On TV.
Jenny for the People on TV.
Yeah.
Aspiration. That's still in my heart. Yeah. This will lead into my struggle later, but but this is what's in my heart, and I know I get it. Like when you're not in the thick of it, like a professional political organizer,
right?
It's a totally different game. You have to make decisions about how you spend your energy.
And it hasn't happened to me, nor anybody that I love. Yeah. So I don't have any real reason except compassion for humankind. So what do? I try to help humankind with my gifts.
Right.
Totally.
And so I mean that's all I want to give. I can't. It's too. And I'm also super sensitive.
Yeah.
And too compassionate. So it's like I almost don't want to be around it.
Yeah,
and
it hurts.
Going to a rally feels like I'm going to Times Square on New Year's Eve. Like,
I don't like crowds.
Yeah, it's just too many people yelling. Everybody's got their own ideas about.
But also now it's dangerous. Like, you could lose your life. Like,
and then some cops could show up with those big.
That too.
Yeah,
or some right winger could be driving their car right into the crowd.
That was what I was thinking about.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
You could literally lose your life.
And I commend people that feel passionate enough to make change happen to show up, knowing that that's the cost.
That's the risk.
But I ain't going out like that.
Yeah.
There's different ways
It's like jumping into Shark Tank. I know it seems like it's cool, but I'm not going to jump in a Shark Tank with great whites swimming around me in case it opens. I saw Jaws.
It's risky.
Yeah.
But I do think it is noble of people that do that.
Yeah.
Especially if it's not like their cause. You know what I'm saying? Like to have someone who is a cisgendered person, straight, who is just, fighting for gay. Like, that's great. It's not even your shit and you're still out there. Good for you. Good on you. That's great.
Do you think there's anybody that shows up that's like, I'm just ahead? Like, they're not really into the cause,
Absolutely.
but they just are like, I'm a number.
Absolutely. For attention.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Absolutely.
Just being a body sometimes does help. It really does. You shouldn't discount it, honestly, just showing up. It's a thing.
Yeah.
I'll try it.
So when the revolution happens, what are you going to do, Brenda?
Hire some people to show up.
Yeah, I was going to say, I'll just show up.
No, I'm going to hire people to show up.
Am I putting you on the list during the revolution?
I got 4 assistants that I'm going to send there to represent me, if that's okay. And I will represent,
Great.
and it's squared.
Great.
Yeah.
Well, I've got good news, guys. The revolution, I heard, is coming next week. Next week.
There's going to be a rally about this?
Probably.
Oh, you're just saying that.
Did you really think the revolution was coming next week?
Maybe. I don't know. I wouldn't doubt it. How many marches did we have this year? There was that women's march and...
Yeah, no, I know, but...
Didn't that happen?
There's a lot of marches.
There's a women's march every year.
Every time I turn around, there's a march.
March for life, but that's for the other side.
Amber Rose had a march, a whole march.
Slut walk. Fuck. I fucking love a slut walk.
Slut walk.
What's a slut walk? Does it happen on Sunday morning?
It's to re-embrace. It's just to embrace and reclaim your sluttiness and sexuality.
Yeah, your sexual liberties that you can have as a woman that we've been deprived of for so many years.
Okay.
Listen, as a repressed Asian immigrant growing up, I embrace that. You go ahead. You go ahead and do that.
You do you. That's how I feel.
I wish I could have my titties out, but I can't.
Yeah, no.
Why?
That's just not me.
But then why do you wish it?
I would like other people to do it. I love it.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, she supports it.
I support it.
Yeah,
but
I feel
I'm not going to let my titties hang out.
Yeah, me neither. I'm barely going to be in a bathing suit, but I'll watch everyone. Why don't you walk over there in that thing? And I'll look at it, and then I'll be like, I'm in a sweat. In June, sweat my ass off.
Brenda, did you have a struggle this week?
My struggle is that I don't like when I'm in a position where I want to be angry and someone feels that they can give me unsolicited advice.
Oh.
It really bothers me. Because A, I'm not receptive. B, I'm just looking for a safe space, just a safe place for somebody to hold space for me. It doesn't mean that I think that you're going to solve my problem.
Brenda, I have some advice for you. No.
You need to listen.
You need new friends.
But it seems like every.
I'm sorry. I'm listening.
So wait, this just happened?
This just happened like before I got here, and I only noticed. I was engaged in the circumstance, and I was dealing with it because I do try to be the best version of myself all the time. And I was like, but inside I was seething. But I was like listening and going, I understand what you're saying. You think I don't know that? I mean, I was having a business conversation. I was having a conversation because, all right, so I'm in the next phase of raising money for my business, and I have to make certain decisions and decks and for investors, whole thing. And I'm learning as I go because I came from a comedian background, and so I have this, and it's been a year, and I've made some mistakes, and I'm learning from it. But everybody that then is new in the scenario wants to give advice, which is fine, but they want to give it as if I didn't think about it, haven't tried it, and they have the solution.
Right.
Are they all dudes?
And women, both. But dudes primarily, I noticed, are more like that.
Yeah.
For sure. And so I get off this conversation, and I was with my friend, and I was like, you know what, this is annoying. And she's in business too, and she wanted to help me, and that's genuine. But I just wanted to be pissed off about this for a little bit. I wanted to be pissed off about not knowing the answer, and pissed off that people keep doing this and not recognizing it because I'm finding the answer by myself and whatever. And she just kept giving me advice. So I started to seethe in it. But I did. And I was like, I mean, my veins were pulsing.
Really?
Off the side. Yeah. I was like, because inside I was so frustrated. And then she looked at me and she's like, you know what? I'm sorry.
She recognized.
Yeah, totally. And that's really what made me go, I need to be that way too. Because I am quick to give advice. It's a human condition. You see somebody who cares struggle, you want to help them. But somebody, if they're not receptive, they won't take the help anyway, and they just need to vent.
Yeah.
Right.
And so she apologized and said, I think I just need to give you space to be annoyed. And I was like, yes. You do.
That is so
Thank you.
Enlightened of her.
Yeah, it was really enlightened of her.
That's, wait, so did you seek her out when you were angry, or did she just happen to reach out to you?
No, I slept at her house.
Oh, so you just happened to be there.
I happened to be there, and the phone call happened early in the morning, and we were doing business stuff, and it just was we were in this perpetual conversation about business anyway.
Right.
So, but in this circumstance, I just wanted to vent about these things. Yeah. And she's a positive person that wanted to give advice and help me.
Sometimes I'm not here for your positivity. And
I hear you.
I literally was just thinking this thought yesterday, and I can't even remember what triggered it, but I was in just kind of a mood, not even a long-lasting mood. It was just a very temporary moment that I had. But I was just and I heard someone say something, and I was like, you know what? Sometimes I'm not here for your positivity because I'm just not ready for it. You just need time, and then let me come around, and then I'll be ready for it. But and that's fair. But that's a good point. Because
so from now on, I'm asking, do you want advice or do you want to listen?
Yes.
That's a good.
That clear. Yes. The minute somebody starts talking to me, and I do that often.
That's great.
Yeah.
It's so simple, too.
It's caring. It's very caring.
Yeah. And then they could go, I just want to be pissed. And I go, all right, be pissed.
Yeah.
And then I'll be pissed with you.
Holler at me when you want some advice.
No, I'll be pissed with them.
I'll give you 15 minutes to be pissed. Go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, maybe that's a good time to riff and make fun of them while they're pissed. I don't know.
No, that might make them more pissed.
Okay. I'm learning
especially
how
if they're
to be
a sensitive person. I've been learning through relationships with people. And I was with someone last night who was going through something tough, and I was like, is this appropriate? Because I'm more aware now, just dealing with different people and sensitivity, especially artists. And I've just been I was like, this person was going through something tough. I was like, is it appropriate for me to make a joke right now? And I was like, normally the comedian to me would be like, just let it out because it more than likely will break the tension. They'll appreciate it. But I didn't do it because I was like, you know what? Maybe this person isn't ready for it yet. And I don't know if it was a right or wrong decision. I don't know, but I just listened and I was like, okay. I think that was the right. That was what I needed to.
Mature.
Yeah, you got it. You know, I'm 28 now.
And me being older, 29, I feel
we're perpetually 28.
Oh, really?
We'll have you back on in like 3 years,
too.
and then you'll be the same age.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is an ageless podcast.
Yes. We don't conform to any age limitations.
That's right.
What did I want to say? And I guess that was it. It was about asking.
But I feel like that's so, it's such a good point because I feel like, especially in like Western culture, people think that helping is a sort of active doing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Whereas to sit and hold space is actually doing something.
Listening.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Listening is actually something.
Absolutely.
Whereas you, in your head as like individual type, like Western minds that we are, we think we're not doing anything.
What I want to continue on that by saying most people seek to be understood rather than to understand.
Yes.
And if you just sought to understand somebody so they feel understood, they would find their own peace and clarity to be able to find whatever that answer is. Because most people just want to be heard.
Yeah, totally.
And I think that if more people came from that space, they would probably...
Damn, read some Buddhist books.
I mean...
I like me some Buddhist books.
Yeah,
oh, same.
Too.
Same.
Yeah.
It's just, and you know, we're, as comedians, I can't believe... who are these people you talk about that just want to be heard? I have no idea who you're talking about. As we
I don't hang out with
stab our mothers for stage time.
I don't hang out with too many comedians at one time. I'm just saying.
I understand. That's why I had to get out. And ponytailing? No. What do you do?
The hell is ponetailing? Is that a new sex move?
I know. I was like, Brenda.
I'm like, damn. Tell us about
You're
ponetailing.
not supposed to talk about what we did last night.
Hold on. I'm getting my phonetics. Piggybacking is what I meant to say.
I love that.
Just confusing animals.
No, I love that. I love that. That's like some immigrant shit. Like English, like that's what the excuse I would use for messing up some idiom. Like I'm an immigrant. English is my second language.
I have no excuse. She's from wrong continent.
That is
her excuse.
Okay, and we ponytail. You know what we do?
You know,
people walk around on skis. Okay. And to get from one point to another, no, they walk around and I wear skis and we hold on to their ponytails and get from A to B.
Now let me bear back. Let me bear back off my statement.
Stupid.
Brilliant.
That's my when I say stupid, that's good.
I know. I love being called stupid. It's the highest compliment.
Let me bear back.
I love how stupid this podcast is.
I love it.
I'm really stupid. Here's the thing. I'm like both poles. I'm retarded and very smart and really
She
bright
is.
at the same time.
She is. She embodies. She is.
I can be so dumb. As we've seen.
Love being
dumb.
But then every so often some smart shit just flies out.
Yeah, no. Brilliance, actually. She said some amazing things. Anyway.
That's why I quit comedy, though, because what you said about the misdirect and the changing the moment. And so even though, and that was in sadness because somebody needed to be sad, but then I had these moments that were like happy and peaceful and would like, and energetically moving for other people to learn. And I was like, and I had that thought. I was like, I could make a joke right here. And I would, and it would ruin
take
it.
Away.
Or, you know, and then it would ruin my piece. And so I was like, I don't know how to do both.
Right.
Yeah.
And which is in the same vein as that, I showed you Hannah Gadsby's special, like how she was saying how, which, you know, if you guys haven't seen it, you saw it, Jenny, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
I watched it on a plane.
It got so much hate. It got so much hate because it's not comedy and it's Tuesday and she's hating men, but mostly because she's a woman. So that's why it got a lot of hate. But yeah, no.
She did hate on men a lot, but so what? She got beat up by a few.
Right. Like
that's your story.
And I honestly don't think she hates men. Like that was just, she was making fun of them, which I think is fine. We should be allowed to make fun of whoever the fuck we want. Like honestly, especially men. They do a lot of ridiculous things.
They be stupid.
And awful things. So, but yeah, no, in that same, I'm not going to harp on this, but just I think what she did was kind of amazing because it opened up doors. So like you can now the way that comedy is perceived, and she's having this conversation about how comedy is detrimental because it doesn't allow the artist to actually heal.
Yeah.
Because we're stopping the story. We're getting the tension out and we're making a joke about it.
Right.
Which is still making fun of ourselves. Right. And at that point, we're distracting from...
You're perpetuating the storyline over and over again.
Right. Yeah.
On every plane of existence. So it's like you get up on stage, you tell your self-deprecating joke or the truth that's not really true. It's just and then you just don't continue it. There's no... the cycle doesn't end. That was another frustrating thing. And watching that on stage.
Right.
And so now I'm kind of in this space where I'm like, wow, I don't really know how to be.
Yeah.
I don't know, like there's a part of my identity, my personality that wants to be funny, that wants to riff, that wants to make people laugh. But I don't know how to be kind at the same time.
It's hard.
Kind and forgiving and compassionate.
Comedy and kindness.
I don't know how to be the Buddha.
Yeah.
Yeah. How do you be the Buddha of comedy?
I feel like that could be the struggle topic.
Oh, we've talked about
Forever.
it already a few times.
That was my episode.
Yeah.
But thanks for validating my existence back into comedy. Boom.
Yeah. It's calling, Brenda. It's calling.
Yeah.
All right. Jenny, let's get into your struggle.
Oh my God. You guys, my struggle is dating as a straight woman and loving men while hating them. You know what I'm saying? That's
what I write in my journal every day.
Like, I love men so much, but I also hate them so much.
No, I know. We're different.
All right, so what do you love about
Especially because I'm political. I mean, that's the main thing of what I mean by that.
Yeah.
Is like, you know, this has been a struggle for a long time. Like, just to give you some context, like, I was big student government nerd in high school. Then when I got to college, which is this like nerdy small liberal arts college on the East Coast, I became like politicized and like big fish, small pond kind of like activist. And so that laid the foundation for like how I see the world. I'm just like, the world is oppression, you know, whatever. I'm one of those people. So I'm just going to establish that, right? So I see things a certain way. And I think for me, for a long time, I dated men of color only because I was like, I don't want to date white people.
Yeah.
because of the struggle.
Yeah.
And who knows if we can get along.
Understanding, right.
Yeah. And then eventually, you know, you get older and you're like, I don't know.
Who cares? They all trash.
I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. Kind of, right? Kind of, right?
Yeah, trash doesn't discriminate. All right.
Trash is no color.
So we'll see. You know, let's open up the possibilities of like finding love.
Right.
And maybe I've been overly prejudicial.
For sure.
You know, I'm like, maybe I don't need to date a man who's 6 feet tall all the time. Maybe I don't need to date a man of color. Maybe a white guy who's is compassionate or kind in a certain way can be not oppressive in being a companion.
There is, maybe.
There are some.
There are some.
Who are really mindful.
Yes.
But so I did that, and then it's also like you just get older and you become more mature. So who knows how that coincided, right?
Absolutely.
So, but now I think I'm back. We'll see. But I'm back to the men of color.
We have to be hyper aware of as women of color as of white men with fetishism.
Yes. Oh, for sure.
Because you don't know.
For sure.
You don't know why this white man.
I just said like I know. I don't know. But I know that it exists.
Of course. So we have to be super like, why is this? Like why is he hitting on me? Is he really into me? Or does he really just dig the fact that I'm Asian or that I'm black? And luckily I feel like I'm like light enough that I don't have to worry about that.
Really?
Like I don't feel like white men do that to me because I don't look like a traditional what they fetishize.
Right.
You know, especially if they had like a slave fetish, they're not gonna look at me, right? So I feel like I don't really have to worry about that too much.
House.
Yeah. They could have a house Negro fetish.
Right. You said it. I did not.
Me too. I set it up. But that's what I was thinking.
I thought it.
You right.
Thanks, Candice.
Thank you for opening my eyes to a whole nother dimension of fetishism. The house Negro fetish, which I didn't know existed. Now I'm terrified.
No, but like, because the thing is this happened very recently, like literally yesterday, I think. I was tagged on Twitter in this like long kind of thread by some woman who wrote this sort of blog post shouting out 35 queer comedians to like follow, and I was in it, and I was like, wait up.
What am I putting?
I was like, last time I checked, I'm not queer.
That's hilarious.
And then I messaged her directly, and I was just like, hey, that's really nice that you put me next to Riley Silverman and Rhea Butcher, but And I'm really down for the cause. And like, I post a lot of stuff to support and amplify.
Right.
But I am not queer.
Yeah.
I do not identify.
And what did she say?
And Anna had just the day before took a Kinsey scale test online, and I got like, a 2, which is like incidental homosexual tendencies, and that's not a lot.
Yeah, no, we took
What's
that.
incidental mean?
Incidental means you might look at boobies and be like, that's hot.
Right, which is what I do.
Right.
Because who doesn't like boobs?
Boobs are great.
Yeah.
Everyone loves boobs.
Even gay men love boobs.
Exactly. That's where we came from.
Yeah,
So, you know, I was just like, I am very not queer.
Right.
Just
That's
like,
so bizarre.
So in my head, I was like, these are my politics. You know, my friend who is queer likes to joke that I'm queer politically, right?
Yeah.
Which is great that they say that about me. I'm not going to claim that shit because that's whack. You know what I mean? But like that. But then there I am still needing to date straight men, and straight men sometimes are trash.
Yeah.
And that's my struggle. I
think all men are trash.
I mean,
I don't think just the straight ones. I think if there were 2 gay,
no, you're right. All men are trash. You're right. I have been, yeah. All men are trash, and by that, it doesn't mean that you yourself are personally indicted. If you fuck up, you might be trash. But men are trash just means that oppressively, you know, systematically, all right, you're fucking our shit up, and you have more privileges. So let's just be clear.
They do have more privileges, although
but men are trash is faster to say.
Men are trash.
It is, and it is a blanket statement, of course, and we know that not all men are trash.
Oh, hashtag not all men.
Of course, hashtag not all men. We have some male allies for sure. I have 2.
So yeah, so the struggle.
You know, it's like I am not racist. I have one black friend. I have one good male friend.
That's not okay to say.
Shut up, Brenda.
And the thing is like, I like to think, I don't know if y'all have this sort of like tension with just dating in general, but like for me, I tend to be physically attracted to more masculine men, right? Or who are like athletic. Like most of the men I've dated played like, 1 or 2 sports.
On a scale from 1 to The Rock, what is your body type?
I'll go between like a gay otter.
What?
Like a gay man who's an otter.
Yeah. I was so confused. And I was like,
not the animal, sorry.
Right.
Like if you're familiar with the otter, not quite the twink.
Right.
But not a bear. So I go from an otter to a bear. I would go from a straight otter to a rock. I would that's my range.
Very masculine.
But I mean, because the otters are like slim, but they're
they're in shape,
a little thick.
Right,
they're a little thick, but they're slim.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah, okay. I'm getting a better idea.
If the rock is 10 and the otter is what number?
I don't know.
Going down towards 1,
like a 6.
Like a 6. I want a 4
of masculinity. Oh,
look wise, like body
of masculinity.
Masculinity as a whole. I want a 4.
For sure. I feel that all of us are so, you know, alpha type women.
Right. If you're a
type of personality, obviously, right? Because of stand up and the things that we even the way we dress, like we're not walking around in stilettos and, you know, I look at women, I see women going to the comedy club.
Yeah.
Dressed up in stilettos, with their titties hanging out.
Don't they know they have to stand half the time?
But also, like,
wait,
it's
these are
freezing
patrons
in there.
or are they?
Yeah.
I thought you meant comedians.
No. Patrons.
I was like,
can you imagine?
That's what I'm like. You could get me in heels anyway.
Oh yeah, no.
Standing.
Yeah, no. But even the patrons, you got to stand in line when you get there. Yeah. Like, there's a lot of standing. Like, you don't know when you're gonna get sat, but like it's freezing in there. Like, why? This is the comedy club. This ain't the regular club. Like, there's no DJ in here. What? And it just, I'm laughing.
Yeah, it's like, date night.
For them, it's date night for somebody. I can understand why a patron would have heels on, to be honest.
I'm talking about like club gear. I'm not talking about I'm talking about like literally titties hanging out.
Like bandage dresses.
Yeah, like mini skirts with ass cheeks hanging out.
For sure.
Yeah, that's specifically. I'm not talking about women who is with the heels on and like just look nice for a date. I'm talking about like you're dressed like you're a video hoe.
Right.
In the comedy club.
Hey, why not?
It's always funny to me. It's just always funny to me. I'm like, this just is such a weird environment to be dressed like this.
Because we know the comedy club is something else, right?
Right, yeah.
So it's a different vibe. But you're right. It's like, so I have, we tend to have more testosterone or masculine energy as like comedians.
I would love a study on that.
Right? No, I would think so.
We have to.
I think when you have more testosterone as a woman too, you're like hornier. Like I feel like a lot of female comedians are hornier. We're like more assertive.
Yeah.
We like to take control of the room, all of it, right? And then I like a more masculine, usually of center guy. But I also want a guy who's like feminist and like knows, you know.
I think I can say something that might help.
Yeah.
Just in comparison. So when I go down my list in numbers, from the rock to the otter to whoever's on the other end, I guess there's a chick on the other end.
Right.
So I would say that for me, when I think about what I would want in a man, I want a 4 inside, but a 5 on the outside.
Oh.
So maybe if you look for that.
Right.
Because like I want somebody that exists with a 4 with like a balance of feminine and masculine on that cusp, but I want somebody to look at like a 5. I like that Johnny Depp rock star look.
Right, because Johnny Depp, if you dress him up a certain way, could look like a really pretty woman.
Yes.
Got it.
Yeah.
Yes. Got it.
But he could also look very masculine. I mean, I think when he looks like a dirtbag.
But I don't think guys that look like that are gonna be like feminists.
They could be on the inside. That's what I'm saying.
I've met some. It's
really?
Like, yeah, I've dated some.
Movie star looking guys that are like woke like that care about women. Think about what that is. Think about the type of the type of guy that has movie star looks that has never had to work for a vagina.
Like?
What is he like?
Yeah.
I mean, he kind of had some Me Too stuff. What happened?
He had some Me Too stuff.
Nothing like awful, but it was like I think he was like
just
in acting class. Yeah, it was some little.
If I was
not
an
underage,
old
like
version
17, like college students. He was like chatting with college students.
Full disclosure, if I was an old version of myself, having had fame and money, I'd have a few Me Too stuff myself.
Really?
I think so. I think I would have. I'm sorry. You want me? Look, I've changed, man.
Wait, what do you mean? Like
like when you were younger, you mean if you were more famous and had more money?
If I was younger and I was famous, I had money, I might have abused my power.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Most people
do.
That's
That's very honest of you.
It's the truth. Like if I knew that I could have sex with some people and that I just wanted to, I didn't really have to put a lot of effort into it. But then I could just get them to do it.
With children.
Is that the Me Too movement? I thought it's overall just abusing your power.
It is abusing your power, but it depends on like.
It depends. Yeah,
I thought it's like producers saying, "Yeah, I give you the part, give me a blowjob,"
but it's
not
also
giving the part.
Yeah,
pedophilia is also under the umbrella of that as well.
Okay, so here we are on a scale again. Okay, so
a lot of spectrums.
If 10 is the pedophilia, I'm talking about a 1 or a 2. But I would have engaged. I'm sure somebody would have had
just light power abuse, just like power abuse.
That's just none of us know how we would behave.
We don't know. No, you're right. You're right. I mean, I'd like to know that. You know, to me, if you have any level of power, you will exhibit certain tendencies to abuse that power. So whether you run an open mic or you run an entire studio, I believe that. Like
absolutely,
you express that because you see that shit even in like open mic scenes. Like you're like, this guy runs this thing and he treats women like shit. Like to me, I feel like that if you've already exhibited it, then I will trust that, you know what I mean? Like,
I don't know if I treat somebody like shit, but I think I would get what I wanted out of it.
All right.
I think I'd be real kind about it.
Have you ever done that? Have you ever abused any amount of power you've had when you were younger?
Yeah.
Okay, so then that therefore
I know I would have done it.
Exactly.
But
so
I
feel like you wouldn't now. Like you're more evolved. Great.
Yeah.
And that's fine because you can grow and shit.
Right.
But I always feel like your past behavior will prove your future behavior. And so if you have more power, then you're going to abuse that, right? Yeah.
Well, I would never. I'm kidding. I don't know. We don't know. I say this all the time. We like bash men all the time, but it's like, how would women behave if we were the ones? Yeah. I feel like, I don't think we'd be as violent because I don't think that's in our nature.
Yeah.
But
we poison some people, though.
For sure. We're definitely more vindictive than men.
Definitely a poisoner.
Poisoning, and our revenge is we go
nasty.
So nasty.
There's some passive aggressive shit in there.
Yeah, the things, the way our minds work when someone wrongs us.
Yeah.
And what we can do to retaliate, that's what I would be scared of. But yeah, I don't think it's in our nature to just, for no reason, just kill or some way, if you're crazy, if you're like a legit crazy person, for sure. But, so like, what have you done? Like, what is your current, you're single right now?
I'm single.
And
I'm
are
dating.
You actively
seeking?
How do you seek?
On the apps.
You're on the apps.
I'm on the apps. You know, there might be some conversations with people I know.
What do you mean?
It's very vague.
I don't know.
What do you mean?
Maybe in real life I'm also talking to people.
Oh, I see what you're saying. You know, I was confused. But yeah, you're like...
How are you finding, I guess? So
no comics.
No. I've never dated comedians.
Don't.
I'm a person who like, you know, is like, I don't know why there's this label serial monogamous, but like I get into relationships, you know? I can't really casually date that much. It's not fulfilling.
Me neither.
For me.
I don't like it. I don't enjoy it.
Yeah, it's not fulfilling, right? I've tried too, and it's just like okay.
I fall in love every time.
Oh, yeah.
No, I don't fall in
love. But it's like natural to feel attached to someone.
That's how I feel. I feel
you're human. Because you're human.
That's how I feel.
Because you're not a sociopath who doesn't care about the consequences of your actions.
That's how I feel. That's how I feel.
So for me, it's a lot of like navigating like. After I turned 30, I became more serious in my dating. So that lends itself to like the kind of conversations I have with like the guys I date. Like I like men who like to be more aggressive, I guess, assertive, to be like, you meet, let's go get on this date.
They don't do that anymore though. Assertive men are falling by the wayside nowadays.
So that's the sort of, I feel like that's the entire struggle. It's like that mix of like, we're in this like shifting of the culture. I'm like, I got to decolonize my mind to not only be attracted to like The Rock.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? To also be able to kind of have a give and take with this sort of like, asserting, taking control of the pace and rhythm of a relationship. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah. That to me is like, I'm still figuring that out.
That's why I'm not very attracted to The Rock. Because I feel like if shit went wrong, I wouldn't be able to handle myself. Like, this guy could take me out.
Oh, you'd be scared.
Oh,
yeah,
of
like,
him.
And I don't like the idea.
I
don't even think about that.
Oh, really? Like, what if it just went? I don't know. I like to know that
if he was an abuser and it went sideways.
Yeah, he could,
or something. People are crazy.
You never know.
I think instinctually. Like, I grew up on Long Island with like this like testosterone, fist pumping, working out, bald heads like that, and it's so much ego. I just can't handle.
Carry a shank. I would just carry a shank.
Yeah.
Just
smart.
I gotta stay strapped.
A date shank. I'm gonna start selling date shanks.
That's
pink.
It's just for my man if he gets out of hand. What?
It's a really good idea. Even if it was just a novelty item, you should sell it.
A date shank. Because you never know.
Little shiv. There's different sizes. You know what I mean? Little shiv to shank.
Yeah. It's a relationship shiv.
A relationship shiv.
A relationship shiv.
A relationship shiv and a dating shank.
A
relationship. The shiv has got to be smaller and a little more dull.
Like the relationship.
Like the relationship.
Oh, there you go.
And because dull knives are a little bit harder going in, and if you got
but what if it's too dull and it don't go in?
Oh, you can make it go in because you've been in a relationship and you're pissed. It's like stabbing somebody with a butter knife.
It's going in.
It's going in.
You're mad if you're gonna pull out the relationship shiv.
Wait, hold up. Here's my question. So we just talk about the struggle and we don't get any solutions? Are we just holding space or are you giving me advice? What is happening here?
Do you want advice or would you just like space?
I am in no place to give anybody advice about dating.
Yeah, do you relate to my struggle?
I'm post-sexual. I've talked about this on an earlier episode.
Wait, like you don't get horny anymore?
Not that I don't get horny. I stopped caring.
Wait, what?
I just don't care about it anymore. Not
about
right
sex.
now. About dating.
Yeah. That's fine.
Yeah, I just don't care right now.
I think that's good because did you want advice or do you want space?
Oh no, I've had my space. I've been cleansing for 43 days.
Oh, damn.
I've been on a raw vegan cleanse and I haven't. So, and through that, I think that's where my caring of that
the
has
clarity
also.
Of that.
I think I shit out my
your desire for a relationship.
Care
you shit out the fucks to give.
Yep.
Is that what happened?
Yep.
Just like
I did. I really did.
Right? I mean, you got to do it every day anyway. Might as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's come out of me. So wait, what's the advice?
Oh, no, I just think that's a good
Brenda.
position to be in because you've desired it for so long. And when we talked about manifesting in the beginning, you have to desire and let go. And so, but you're truly doing that. You truly have the desire and it's real for you through this cleanse. So you're truly letting go.
Yeah.
And so ultimately in that letting go, then the prospect of it coming back will be good. And you'll actually get the person that's right for you. So I think you're in a great spot.
Oh, good.
If you wanted a perspective.
So you got to go raw vegan.
More. I got to go raw vegan.
Yeah.
I need to shit out my fucks.
I don't really understand your struggle. I know that it exists, but I don't know what you're struggling with.
It's just
you're frustrated.
It's more adjusting my expectations. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Like knowing what I should expect or I shouldn't expect, what my standards are. Mm-hmm, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure.
Because I want love and companionship and someone that I could kick it with.
It's human, yeah.
Yeah, and I like for example, I dated a guy a few years ago where it was going pretty well, and I was like immediately physically attracted to him. He was like former football player kind of guy, and a typical type for me. And
that's so interesting to me. You don't seem like the type that would like that.
I know. People are always surprised. But then I've also dated, like, this one time I dated, like, my first white boyfriend was like a white guy who was like my height, who's very like innocuous, kind of harmless looking, and then but friendly.
Yeah.
Like dog energy, you know, like, and then people were surprised by that. It was actually Kimry Davis. Do you know Kimry Davis?
I know Kimry, yeah.
Kimry Davis, we did a show, and my boyfriend at the time showed up. And when she met him, she was like, Jenny, I did not expect that. You know? I've dated a range of types. So, but not just the like 20-year-old Jenny basic type is like athletic, 6 foot tall.
Okay,
like,
okay.
Yeah.
And that's what I was going to say
Square
is like
jaw.
maybe just go do the complete opposite of what you think is
I've done
right
that.
And nothing.
And so
that's my advice, guys.
I've gone both ways of like, dating more like alpha types and then dating more like where they joke that I'm
more
the alpha.
cuck types.
More what?
Cuck. You know what a cuck is?
No.
It's like a dude who lets his woman fuck. It was specifically coined for white men who let their women fuck black dudes.
It's short for cuckold.
Yeah.
It's a whole porn genre too.
Yeah.
But guy, like, you know, right winger or guy dudes, like Reddit threads, like to throw it around.
They use it now to like
be like, I want to fucking cuck. It's like the opposite of when people used to use the F word, as in the British word for
supposed to be
cigarettes.
God, they just have nothing better to do with their time.
I know.
Just go.
Yeah.
I love Brenda's like, I don't follow this shit, and this is all wild to me.
Yeah, no.
It's like, what?
Yeah, no. Half the podcast was Brenda being like, what is that? Every time. Now what? Who did say?
But you know, this is the purest, like most like appropriate response to shit like that.
I know.
It should be like, I am dumbfounded.
Like, what are you talking about?
Why is this a thing?
No,
I just don't even. Don't you have chores? Like do you have anything to do besides get on Reddit and say those things and discover that saying?
Type
I don't know. It's just so weird.
Right. No, I know.
Yeah,
I know.
So now it's more like adjusting my expectations around how I pursue or they pursue me, because I like usually for them to be like very clear of like their intentions in pursuing me.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying.
So do you come at the relationship like telling them that?
I have become more explicit.
Does that work?
Like, yeah, I mean, I've learned that like sometimes guys, you just have to tell them what you want.
Yeah.
Even if it's like not romantic, quote unquote, if they don't figure it out themselves.
Sure. Like, and I was talking with my friend last night who was, she's going through a breakup, and like she was telling me that this guy, because sometimes they just don't get it. Like, and that's why I say, like, I've said this on stage before. Like, I just feel like I don't think men and women are supposed to be together. Like, I don't. Like, we're so different. We're so different. And so it's sometimes it just take a matter of explaining to them, because like something that's so obvious to us. Like, she was telling me that this guy took her to dinner, like was like, meet me at my place. We're going to do this and this, and like had the whole day together. And then we're going to go to dinner, and then I'll go to your thing afterwards. And then took her to dinner and broke up with her. So in her head,
so sorry.
In her head,
what?
So wrong.
She was thinking
she had the rest of the night.
She left her car at his place, thinking, I'm coming back here after we go to dinner, and then you're going to come to my thing, and then we're going to go back to your place. So she shows up and was like, I just got dumped. And we were like, what? And then and I was like, do you think in his head that he thought he was just being nice by taking you to dinner?
Right.
And that was a nice thing to do when he didn't even think. And I'm like, can guys be that stupid? And then I'm like, yeah, they can, because I've experienced it. And it's just like, boo, in what world would that not set somebody up for expectations of a nice night?
I've also been in a position where I tried to think about the other person overtly and have it backfire that badly.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And so I identify as bisexual, and I go back and forth.
Yeah.
And so if I'm like that with a woman, and I will take that role of being so overtly kind. And it always a lot of it backfires in that way.
What do you mean by kind?
Like I'll think about like, well, if that was the situation, if I looked in it, I'd be like, well, all right, so what's the best scenario? All right.
For a breakup, you mean?
I don't know if I would do that, but let's say I was this guy.
Yeah.
Right? I would be like, well, let me she likes that restaurant. At least she's eating something good when she's going to hear some bad news. So I might think this in my head.
This will soften the blow.
Yeah. So then I might think that in the head because I'm already really scared about hurting somebody, let's say. And so then I come to the restaurant. She comes and I didn't expect her to have her car because I thought I was going to pick her up. So now that's fucked up. Right? But I got to go to the restaurant anyway because I didn't tell her I was going to break up with her.
Right.
And I already made the plans. And so, all right, here goes. And then she got stuck. So I think that there's a circumstance of thinking ahead and trying to do the right thing on something that's going to explode anyway.
Right.
And I think that that's fair to acknowledge for dudes.
For sure. I do believe that 100%.
I'm not saying they're not dumb.
Yeah.
Look, I'm still on board for that. I'm just saying there is another perspective of trying to be kind in a situation that is going to blow up.
For sure. But it is like, it's just like, that to me is such an obvious, like if you're going to break up, don't take them to dinner. Yeah. Like, just have a...
Why?
Take me to... Why would you? Like, this is not a conversation for a public...
I guess so.
You can have a phone conversation, come over, let me come
I just put it on Twitter.
We over.
Yeah.
And don't even like at the minute. Just leave it as a subtweet and let them figure out that it's about them on their own. We done. Is this about me?
Are you truly detached? Are you truly detached?
No, but continue. I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah. No, I just think that, like, I hate to keep talking about this show because I'm obsessed. Have you watched 90 Day Fiancé?
No, I need to. I've heard so much about 90 Day Fiancé. Is that the one that you showed me?
Yes. I haven't watched it since I've been back from Christmas break. Why'd I call it that? Like I'm in college. And because I was home for like 2 weeks. And so there was an episode where this couple, like, they were together, but they were long distance.
Yeah.
Because he hadn't come to America yet. He was in like another, like Switzerland or some shit. And she was in America. And he was making a trip to come see her to break up with her. But she didn't. She was like, oh, he's coming.
Yeah.
And I'm like, why are you flying to? She's going to think that everything's fine.
Maybe he thinks in his head that you're supposed to break up with somebody in person, and I'm having the respect enough. I'm just saying. I'm not saying it's not
I thought about that.
Yeah.
I did think, and I gave him the benefit of the doubt, but at the same time, I was also like, this is for television. This guy for sure wants to be on camera more. I was like, this guy wants this and this and this more than he's caring about her feelings right now.
Yeah, yeah.
And so, but like, I was like, I'm watching, like, I'm furious. Like, why would you fly? She thinks everything's fine. And you're coming there flying to go see her to tell her it's over?
You know,
like, that's what FaceTime is for.
That is what FaceTime is for. You're right.
I have to say, I've experienced and have done a variety of breakup scenarios, and it's just never perfect. It really just is never perfect.
Yeah.
It's the worst. It's just the worst.
What was the most awkward one? Can I ask?
Yeah.
I've actually gone to dinner with someone and broken up with them.
You asked them to go to dinner?
Well, I wanted to break up with them in person because I wanted them to know that I cared about them.
You don't want to do it in a house. You don't want to be in their house. You don't want them to be in your house in case anything goes down. So you do want to be in a public place. And maybe the person's going to lose their mind.
My intention wasn't to have full dinner. I was going to do it before we had dinner.
Just over apps.
Oh, man.
Before we sat down into the restaurant, but I chickened out. And then we just like kept talking and then I was just like, okay, I need to do it now. Like literally I was chicken shit. But I did it that night.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. And I like made sure I went near his place, like in Santa Monica or whatever.
And at the end of the day, the person that gets broken up is always going to find an issue with what
Yeah,
what you did wrong.
it's like
because it's an ego burn. It's like, why wouldn't you do it this way?
For rejection. And so
it's never going to be presented in a good way.
I've been broken up with by text, by phone call. In the parking lot.
Have you ever gotten an airplane skywriting?
Fuck off, Jenny. Duck off? No, that's an F. Yeah. Yeah.
So
I just think there's no right way to do it. I think it's very contextual.
That is true.
Yeah.
And to be fair, I have never really broken up with anybody.
Yeah.
I've been in very few relationships and I've only broken up with like one person.
Yeah.
And that was even barely a relationship. So I don't know. But I just am picturing myself in that situation and like what I would think is appropriate. And I was like, I wouldn't feel bad. Like if they came to my place, like I know I'm not dating like a violent person, so I'm not going to be scared of you. So like you can break up with me in my place. I'm not going to be scared of you or your place. I would rather that or just over the phone.
I don't want to be broken up with my place. Then I got to think about it while I'm in my place. I'm gonna be like, I got broken up in this living room. And it's like that memory
and that
is
happened
still there.
Yeah, no, but that's a different. We're talking about breakups, not divorces.
That was hard.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah, Brenda's post-divorce.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
But years now. It's been years.
Yeah, it's been years.
Yeah.
Yeah. So she just starts crying.
But it feels like yesterday. He was such a good man.
I love that we can laugh at it now.
Really fuck that one
I
up.
love that we can laugh at it. Wait, so do you want to get married, Jenny?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Are your parents together?
They are, but they shouldn't be.
Oh.
You know what I'm saying? Like, they're just old.
And
And
it's just why
my mom doesn't.
Yeah,
my mom. It's codependent. My mom doesn't speak English. Doesn't drive. So it's just they're old.
Yeah,
they had me when they were older too. Like my dad is much older than my mom, and then I was accident baby. So they're like basically almost like 2 generations older than me because I have like older brothers and stuff. So they're just old school and they just don't break up. You just survive together. My mom doesn't have real like economic prospects. We've told her, we're like, yo, you could go back to Taiwan, which is where I was born, and live there because you'll know the culture. You could be just chilling on public transportation,
Yeah.
But yeah.
How do you feel? Do you think there's something to be said for staying in a marriage for tradition? Like because you'd rather just...
I believe in like we're redefining what modern marriage is now.
Absolutely.
And I still believe in the concept of commitment. You know, like that is something that once you've kind of find a partner, you can find a way to grow together because shit's going to get hard. I do agree that that's possible.
And that's even seeing how long. So your parents. How long have you known that they should not be together? Like, was that something you saw since you were a kid growing up?
Sure.
Like, y'all should not be together.
Yeah.
Really?
Yes.
And even seeing that, you're still just like, oh, I could get married.
Yeah, I'm trying to. I've been through some therapy and some self-help books.
Yeah.
Trying to see other role models for couplehood.
Yeah. Because it can work.
Yeah, it can work. I know people who are,
and
happily, deeply married.
And it goes both ways because I look at my parents who are still happily married.
Really?
Happily married this year, in July, they'll celebrate 43.
Wow.
And I'm like, I don't think I want that. I don't think I want to get married. And that's it. Because and I grew up seeing like probably the happiest example of parents.
I don't know if I want to be married, but I wouldn't mind having a partner that would want to stick around.
Yeah, I'm all for that. I'm all for having somebody there.
I want to build an empire. I used to joke that I didn't know that I wanted kids until maybe a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
Like it was just more like this sort of out there idea.
Yeah.
But when I was younger, for some reason, I was like, I want like a volleyball team of kids. But I didn't know what that meant. But now that I'm older and like I know what that means to like live that life, I'm like, maybe I'll have 2.
That's not a life to live. You have no more life at that point.
You're just coaching them every day, running drills.
Exactly. You're a coach.
How
many siblings do you have?
I have 2 older brothers. They're like 10 years older than me.
I know if you were from a large family and that's what maybe.
No, I mean, it's large by modern standards. It's like 3 kids, right?
Yeah.
But like I grew up, our little immigrant little branch came here. And so I don't have any like cousins or anything that I grew up with. All of them are in like Taiwan, mainland China.
That would explain a volleyball team desire.
A little bit.
Yeah, you just want friends.
Exactly. I was envious of my friends who were like, I went to a family reunion and we all had matching T-shirts. You know what I mean? And we did like hopscotch, whatever.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's cool. Like, I was just like, we didn't do that. My family wasn't super close, but we stayed together as a family with cultural things like holiday things and rituals, and we still do that. But we're not very close. And so I think for me, and like with like therapy and shit, I'm like, I need to not be trying to heal myself through my relationships. But, in my head, I do think like, I think I probably long for like building like a home life because I didn't have the one that I wanted.
That's right.
I believe that there's always healing through relationships.
You always do, right?
You just have to bring yourself to it in a healthy space. But there's going to be more healing.
For sure.
Like they have to, otherwise until you're fully realized, until you become Buddha.
Yeah.
Right.
But if you're not Buddha when you meet somebody, you're still going to have some healing to do.
What if when you became fully realized like that, you literally just morphed into Buddha? Like your body type just became Buddha.
I would love to be like a happy Buddha. The laughing Buddha?
Yes.
That's the fun one. I like the laughing Buddha.
Yes.
Yeah.
It seems such a
little pot belly.
Such a happy place to be.
I would like to be one of those Indian deities with all the arms and all the...
Right.
Or you can multitask
stuff. Yeah,
you could be tweeting over here,
slapping somebody in the face over here.
Yeah,
giving strippers some singles over here. Yeah.
It's a joyous time.
Like, so as far as having kids now, you want like just a couple?
Maybe if I can. I don't know.
She's like, I don't know.
I don't have control over this.
You know, you don't have. I mean, you do technically.
I mean, if I wanted to, like, drop a few tens of thousands of dollars on some, I don't know.
What if you
freezing eggs shit?
I know.
What if you met a man that had a sensitive side, looked like The Rock, and had 6 kids that were douchebags?
She's gonna have to change her underwear.
Damn. The Rock is a big selling point.
I know.
And he's sensitive?
But 6...
Yeah.
And he's sensitive.
And he's feminist. He's...
That's already... And then the 6 kids are douchebags, though? Douchebags. But, like, how old are they? Can they be douchebags out in the world, or do I have to see them every day?
You're going to see them. He's very close to them.
Oh, God.
And they're a range from, like, 17, coming in and out with that attitude, to, like, 8.
Yeah, I don't know.
All of them are douchebags?
Yeah, they're all douchebags.
I don't mind.
What did y'all do wrong? Now we got to look at the parents.
The circumstance.
I don't mind dating men who have kids, but if that in that scenario, that's pretty much an equalizer. That might be a
deal breaker.
That would be a no.
Yeah.
What if half the kids were douchebags, but the younger ones were cute? You'd be okay.
No. I don't want to. I don't want any douchebag kids.
She's like, stop putting these douchebags on me.
What are these scenarios about?
Well, it can't be all perfect. I'm trying. You're gonna stretch the circumstance.
I thought at one point that maybe I wanted kids, but I was like, and then I'm realizing, like, with just my extended family members, like, just more people, more problems. Like, I literally I'm so selfish now, to the point where it's just I like the ease of my life.
Totally.
Because it's just my issues are enough. Like, I feel like what I deal with is so much. Imagine if I had this other person that I made that I have to take care of. It's a lot. And I don't know if I have that to give.
I like the idea of somebody else having kids. Like, getting in on someone else's family at this point. I don't want to have any.
Yeah.
But I like
being an auntie.
Yeah. Being like the cool one you go to when you're in the fight with your real parents. Taking care of them in whatever ways because you want to, but you don't really have to.
Yeah.
I like that.
I mean, that's a trend. Big brother, big sister program.
I know. You can mentor and shit. Yeah. You're a teacher. Who knows?
Yeah. Well, that seems like a lot of time.
Who wants to do that?
No, but like, I feel like that's the trend. It's like in like Japan and other countries. I think even in America, like the birth rates are getting lower. Yeah,
for sure. And I think that's for a few reasons.
So many reasons.
There's a lot of reasons. I don't know, like, as far as, I feel like we haven't helped you at all.
Thanks for the advice. We just talk about the struggle.
I feel like,
did you want the advice or did you just want to be heard? You never answered.
Oh, that's right. You never
both.
even.
I asked.
I wanted both. All
right, so you have been heard.
I have been heard.
And so you're looking for an answer for what?
For
because I could walk you through this.
Where can I find a masculine of center, sensitive, feminist, intersectionally feminist man who can also
there's a website for
have a job and handle business and like to plan things with me.
Where can you find it?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know where you could find it
the farmer's market.
Yeah. Definitely a gym, it seems like. I don't know if it's about finding it. I think it's about projecting it yourself.
I try to project what I can.
So how are you projecting the masculinity?
My masculinity or my femininity?
Your masculinity.
Oh, I don't know. I'm living my life. I'm handling my business.
Stand up.
I mean, I've been essentially single, but like in relationships, but like never like moved in or anything.
Nothing.
So independent.
Right.
But like 1 year to 3 year relationships. And I feel like I'm used to handling my business, and more so than ever, especially in the last couple of years, I definitely feel more like settled in myself in terms of my life. So like, I'm actually, I'm going on vacation soon, Like by myself, just fucking just.
So basically, you're a dope.
Oh, that's great.
You know what I'm saying? Like
you're a dope catch.
I am,
and you are worthy.
For sure.
You are worthy of this rock dude that has this femininity, this whole complex thing. And so, and you've set that up. And so, I think then the best thing for us to do is to have our listeners know that that's what you are seeking.
Yes.
And if you are that person
listening to this podcast,
listening to this podcast, or this person, right, that Jenny is looking for, follow her on what?
on Twitter or Instagram and let me know what's up.
And holler, because she is looking.
I am.
I love how this podcast turned into a dating site.
I mean,
why not? It's the only option we have at this point. It's
look, I'm very content with I have a lot of love and blah, blah, blah. But yeah, like it'd be sweet to find a good companion.
Yeah, and you like people that are assertive.
I do. I like them to just be like, oh, I think you're cool. Let's like go on a date.
Yeah, so send her a picture first.
An appropriate picture, maybe.
Not a dick pic.
We have to be specific.
Let's be specific. Send her a picture. Yeah, and then let's see what happens.
If you get a date off this podcast before me, we're gonna have problems.
I hope it happens.
I'm kidding. I'm post-sexual. I already said it.
That's right.
I don't care anymore.
Otherwise, then what do you do except to put out? You got to put out what you want.
Yeah,
which we did.
I have.
How much time do we have? How much are we done? Oh,
we done?
Do you feel like you've been putting out what you?
I don't put out, but
that's a problem. And we solved her struggle, you guys. She didn't put out.
Damn it, Candice, you nailed it.
This will be the last, but do you feel like you've been putting out, do you feel like you've been putting enough effort into, because I thought I was putting effort into, and being on an app is not really effort. Yeah. That's like the bare minimum of things we can do. And I also had to take a minute back. This is before I realized I was post-sexual when I actually cared. I took a minute and I looked at everything that I was doing, which was actively trying to put me in a relationship or in a dating role. And I was like, I'm not doing anything. Yeah. Everything and all the energy that I have, I'm putting forth toward my career. My vision board is all career stuff. There's no man, there's no wedding ring, there's no nothing, there's no kids on there. And it took me a minute to realize that. I was like, if I wanted to be in a relationship, I think I would be in one. Yeah. And it took me a minute to actually accept that.
Yeah. No, I'm used to like allocating time to like find a relationship. My last one was like July. And so after I healed, like in December, I was like, I'm ready to date again.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you do feel like
I've been a professional dater for a while.
Oh, okay. So you know what you're doing. So,
but it's more about finding that person that is that combination.
Yeah.
Which is sometimes tough, but I'm holding out hope.
I'm holding out hope for you as well. I think you'll find it. I mean, LA is just a tough place to really date because people are distracted. But if you keep doing I would say go, and I'll say this, I don't practice what I preach, but go outside of LA. I hope you go outside of actual LA proper, to other adjacent cities, because I think it's just a better, right.
The last guy I dated lived in Long Beach.
There you go.
Maybe it's a guy that does MMA, but it's really bad at it.
A failed MMA fighter.
Yeah, maybe that's how you have to start looking. Who has that look?
Because he's humbled.
Yeah, exactly. He's humbled. He's compassionate. He understands what a lady feels like. He's somebody who's weak.
I need a man who's seen some failure.
Yeah, that might be it.
You do.
A hot-looking, masculine dude that had some failure.
That goes back.
And has been humbled.
Yeah, that's back to my point when I was saying earlier about how a Johnny Depp type person who's looks like a movie star is not going to be able to be there for necessarily women's rights, and because they don't care. How are you gonna? You've been thrown pussy your whole entire life. You don't have to work for anything. You're making millions of dollars, whatever you're making. You're super successful. It's just that doesn't breed that type of person that cares about the same issues, right? So it's hard. But a failure. Or someone who just has failed.
MFA. Is that MFA?
MMA?
MMA. An MMA failure.
I'll take an MFA as well.
You take them both, yeah.
I'm open, y'all.
Okay. So that's your demographic. Failed MFA.
Yeah.
If there's any failed
wrestlers. But not WWF. That's too theatrical.
No, I do need a man who's seen and overcome some struggle. I do know that about.
There you go. Okay.
That I did.
Yeah, and now turned entrepreneur.
Sure.
Yeah, this is a good guy. So
I like that.
Burn victims. Anybody.
Jesus.
Anybody that owns a business that is in sports. Sports or weightlifting.
Yeah.
These are the places to look.
She's not opposed to hunchbacks.
I don't need a weightlifter. Let me establish this. I said otters.
Right. I don't know reason.
So you can take a failed soccer player.
The last boyfriend I had, he was very slim.
Yeah.
I could barely wear his pants if I needed to wear them because he was very slim.
Okay.
It's okay. They don't have to be.
Yeah, no. Let's go for just anyone who's failed at something athletic.
That's pretty good.
I love that that's the conclusion.
That's the conclusion of our show, guys.
You're already doing the work. You're already doing. You're putting out. You're doing the work. You're doing a good job.
You're putting in that work.
Yeah.
Trying.
All right, guys. Thanks for listening to The Struggle with Candice Thompson. You can find me at Jokes by Candice on social media, CandiceThompsonComedy.com for shows. And Brenda, one more again,
you can find me at Instagram at Brenda Colonna.
And you can find me at Jenny Yang TV.
And watch Busy Tonight on the E! Network, guys. Support, support, support. And one more time, if you guys have not subscribed, make sure you do that. We are everywhere that you can find or that you listen to your podcast. Also, we are on YouTube, so make sure you subscribe on YouTube because you can watch us now. Also, rate and review.